Okay, so also today, let's start in a thoracic opener just to stretch out the upper body a little bit. So grab a blanket. You can also use your mat if you don't have a blanket. We're just going to make a little roll up. So blanket works good. You can grab something off the couch. So we're kind of going for narrow and skinny here. It's like a long little burrito. And depending upon how tight you are in your shoulders and your thoracic, you're going to want to gauge the thickness, and you might have to come into the pose and just see how it feels initially. This is going to go perpendicular on your mat unless you're rolling up the mat. And you're going to lay over this. So you want it to hit the bottom of the shoulder blades, bottom of the bra strap. So shoulder heads will be pressing down into the mat underneath you. Sometimes as you come down here, you get some really lovely cracks. It's like a bonus. Ooh, I got some good ones. Cactusing the arms feels really nice. In terms of legs, you can play with extending your legs to straight here. A lot of times in this configuration, that can put a little extra tug in the lower back, sometimes even the hip flexors. So if this is too intense, bend your knees, take your feet wide, and then just knock your knees in together. So coming into this like constructive rest with this thoracic opening. And this can definitely feel a little uncomfortable. So as we're here, as we hold this for a few minutes, it's gonna feel easier. That being said, if it's so intense, if it's absolutely unbearable, your roll up is too thick, so just make it a little thinner. And then start to find your breath. So inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. And you can constrict the sides of your throat, so you start to create that heated quality. The breath starts to sound like ocean waves. You bring your attention to that sound, and you notice, does the inhale feel easier today? Does the exhale feel easier? So you're just observing that. Eyes are closed here, so that's just another little trick to help you draw inward. And as you draw inward, do a little scan of your body. You can start at your feet, work your way up. Are there places where you're holding, gripping that you don't need to? So inner thigh, groin, shoulders can sometimes creep up to the ears here. This configuration helps, but that can happen. We can hold tension in the neck. Fingers and toes sometimes can tense up. And then of course the face, the jaw. So all these little spots where the body holds this tension and stress, release them so you feel really comfortable and relaxed here. And then you're just listening to that sound of your breath. These look really nice. You're going to get distracted by sounds happening in the room around you. Let them go. You might have to remind yourself to do that a lot the next hour. And of course, you're going to definitely get distracted by the thoughts happening in your head. So those are going to come and go too. When you observe that you've attached to any of them, you just come back to your breath. You let them go. So we just start to string more and more quiet moments together. Just enjoy the effect that that has. About another minute here, just soaking up the quiet. Good. So take a nice deep inhale. Open your mouth, let the breath go. Ha. So if your legs are extended to straight, start to bend the knees. If your feet are wide, just walk them a little closer together, actually all the way together, so knees can knock in. And then we're gonna roll off to the left side. So kind of just stretching out, getting into those side ribs on the bolster. It just feels kind of nice. We're just gonna take a few breaths here. So in this fetal position, feeling that pressure of your roll up in those side ribs. You can actually feel a little intense. Good. Roll onto your back and then off to the right. So just getting into those right side ribs, noticing if this side feels different at all. And then just press down into that left hand to come on up, and let's find a nice comfortable seat. So coming into Sukhasana, you might want to sit up on a blanket or a block here, especially if you're a little tighter in the hips, which on a Saturday morning probably is the case. So just giving yourself a little height will help you to release in the groin, release the hips, sit a little taller. All right, so rooting into your sit bones here. Let's just do a little side to side stretching. So root down into your right palm, inhale, left arm comes up and over. Exhale, press into that left palm, inhale, right arm stretches up and over. And we're just gonna continue like this. You can close your eyes again and just begin to move with your breath. So find a pace that feels good. Maybe you need to move a little faster this morning. Maybe you wanna slow the breath down and stretch things out. And this is definitely, you're gonna feel this through the sides of the body, especially the lower body. And just finding this little idea of simple vinyasa, connecting movement with breath and just noticing how it has this really lovely calming quality. It's like a moving meditation. Let's do a couple more to each side. And the next time that left arm is extended to the right, just hold there. Really spin that palm, left palm to face behind you. So you're finding internal rotation. Feel your shoulder blades stack on top of each other. And then put your brain in that left sit bone. Anchor there a little more. Good work. Maybe begin to look up underneath that top arm. That's going to give a little stretch in the neck. So if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Good. As you exhale, press down into the left palm. Inhale, right arm extends up and over. So feel this long stretch. Root into that right sit bone as you stretch through your right fingertips, spinning that palm to face behind you. As you do that, however, you're wrapping your left ribs up towards the ceiling. These look really good. Maybe looking up underneath that top arm. Just getting into the neck a little bit. Good. As you exhale, release down. So peek down, see what shin is crossed in front. Extend your legs to straight. Recross with the opposite shin in front. And let's just get into the neck a little bit today. It feels like it's been one of those weeks. So sitting here, you can have your hands resting on your thighs, or you can release down through fingertips. That's going to give you a little more stretch so you can gauge it. Go ahead, sit nice and tall, but just bring your chin towards your chest. So this is going to get in the back of the neck, and it's actually really hard to get the back of the neck to release. As you're doing this, you might notice that the shoulders start to creep up around your ears. So just imagine that somebody's just gently pressing your shoulders down. Notice if you start to puff the ribs out a lot, if you start to overarch in your lumbar. So you're sitting nice and tall here. The only movement is happening in the neck. And then we're just going to move with the breath a little bit. We're going to keep our chin tucked here. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, start to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Inhale, back to center. And then exhale, left shin or left ear towards left shoulder. I don't know why I said shin. Come back to center on your inhale. Exhale to the right. Good. And we're just going to continue like this, moving nice and slow. We're going to do this a few times before we come into the hold. So just trying to warm things up a little bit, open things up. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting tons of sensation here. Can kind of catch the breath a little bit. So keep that breath moving. This, of course, is a great little thing that you can do at your desk when you're feeling like a little of that zoom neck. So let's just do one more to each side. So after that left side, you're going to come back to the center. So your chin is releasing down, and maybe it feels like you're getting just like the tiniest more release. Keep your chin tucked. This time you're going to take several breaths as you bring that right ear towards your right shoulder. And you're going to notice that things start to intensify through the left side of your neck. So you're going to get to some spots where it's like, ooh, that's intense. You're going to stay in that place for a breath or two. You can intensify this by kind of doing jazz hands with those left fingers and then extending out. You can lift the arm up a little bit. That's even going to take it into the upper arm shoulder area. And of course, if that feels like too much, you skip it. So hand could just be resting on your thigh. Are you holding your breath at all? Keep it moving. Nice work. And you can even play with this arm, kind of just see how, if you change the angle, where it goes to different places. Finally, if you'd like to take your right hand, apply some gentle pressure to the top of your head. You might not need to, but you're welcome to move in that direction as well. Good, and then we're all just going to use our right hand to our cheek, to upright the head. Good. Chin tucks towards chest. Few breaths here, feeling that lengthening through the back of the neck. Breath smooth and steady. And then moving nice and slow, we start to make that journey to the left side. And again, you can engage right arm in any way that feels good. You can kind of play around with the angle. Maybe you just keep your hand resting on your thigh. How does your right side feel different in your body? Does it? And just taking your time, breathing into the sensations. Nice work. Finally, if you'd like to take your hand, left hand to the top of the head, apply a little pressure. You may or may not need that, so just listening to that. Good, and then left hand to your cheek, come upright. And before we start to move a little more here, let's just do some seated hip circles, shoulder rolls, so hands can come to knees, to thighs. Let this just feel good. The movements can be small. They can be a little bigger. This is like a motion we don't do a lot in yoga, so it's always kind of enjoyable. It's channeling your inner belly dancer. Let's switch directions here. Nice. And then you're just going to make that movement smaller. So coming back to your Sukhasana, and then we're gonna flip on to our hands and knees, coming into our tabletop position. And we'll move this into a little cat-cow. So land with your shoulders over your wrists, fingers spreading gently, pressing, knees are under your hips. As you inhale, chest is gonna come forward for the gates of your shoulders. You're gonna arch in your lumbar, lower back, nice work. As you exhale, really press the mat away. Let the back of the neck release. We've done a lot to get there. And then just continuing like this. So coming in to the cat pose on your, or cow pose on your inhale. Exhaling into the cat stretch. And again, you're also connecting movement with breath here. You're finding that pace that feels best in your body this morning. That's like a movable thing. It's always a little different. Couple more rounds. Good. On your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine. So you're neither arching nor rounding. Gaze is an inch or two in front of you. We're going to do a little bird dog here for some core stabilization. So as you inhale, right leg, left arm, lift and extend. Keep wrapping that right hip down. Nice. As you exhale, release. Inhale, left leg, right arm reach. Exhale, release down. So just moving nice and slow. Opposite arm and leg like this. That leg that is extending up and back. You're feeling that inner thigh. Spiral up towards the ceiling. You're feeling shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. Might even be feeling a little squeeze of your lower belly in. Seeing how long you can get here. Let's do a couple more each side. And then we'll hold. So the next time you've got that right leg, left arm lifted and extending, stay there and then see if you can get a little longer. And gaze just like maybe a foot in front of your fingertips or even slightly forward, whatever helps you to balance here. Nice work. Exhale, release that side. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Seeing how long you can get, really flexing that left foot. Toes point down, hips are even. You can even feel those outer hips squeezing in towards each other. Deep inhale. Exhale, release. Good, and then let's get into the wrists a little bit here too today. So we're gonna start by externally rotating right fingers out. And you might be able to do both here, it kind of just depends. And depending upon how flexible you are, how you're built, you might go pretty far, but just go to that place where you're feeling a stretch in your forearm and then find a little movement. So rock forward, back, side to side. You can feel quite intense. So if you're doing both hands together at the same time, just stay where you're at. Otherwise, move into that left side. And just again, finding that movement. Are you still breathing? That inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. Good, left fingertips return forward, both hands return forward. So we're gonna sit back on our heels. And you can always put a little blanket on top of your shins if you need to. Let's just stretch our arms out so fingertips point up towards the ceiling. Notice if the shoulders crept up around your ears, soften them down. Good, and then release fingertips down, curl them in so it's like you're bringing your fingertips towards your wrist. Ooh, which is intense. And then make fists here, circle around. Switch directions. Back to your tabletop. All right, so this one's definitely more intense. Most of us will probably just do one hand at a time. We're gonna flip onto the top of the hand. And you'll probably wanna make sure you're on a mat. You might even need a little padding. And then again, you can find a little movement here. Woo. Keep breathing, smile a little bit. And you might even find that you're just kind of more on knuckles. So again, just depending upon what's going on in your body, it's going to look a little different for all of us. Go ahead and switch sides. So come into that left side. If you're doing both, you can just stay there. Good. Go ahead and release. Sit back on your heels again. And this time we're going to extend our right hand forward and just nice and easy, couple seconds, each finger, pull back with your left hand. Just giving the fingers a little love. And as you pull back, you're going to notice you start to get some stretch in that forearm. It's my favorite dumb yoga joke, but really get that middle finger. We want that one nice and limber, especially during a pandemic year. Ha ha. And then switching sides. Good work. So come back to your tabletop, take a couple rounds of your cat-cow just to let that all go. And hopefully the wrists are feeling a little more open and easy. Getting into all the little areas today. Good. As you inhale, come to your neutral spine. Walk your hands forward a couple of inches. You're giving yourself some space for your downward dog. Here we go. Curl those toes under. Good, so kind of stay low like this and then just hover your knees up off the mat. Couple of breaths, so getting into the core. Ooh, nice. And then start to shift those hip bones up towards the ceiling and then just find a little movement here, pedal back and forth between your feet. Kind of waking up those legs now. You can shift hips side to side, anything that feels good. Some days it just feels best to come to a place of stillness too, so you're always welcome to do that. These look nice. And then coming to that place of stillness. So again, is the back of your neck lengthening? Your ears should be in line with your biceps, that inner upper arm. So you know you're in the right place because you're gazing between your feet, which are about hips distance apart. Second and third toe pointing forward, feeling the front of the thigh firm towards the back of the thigh. You can always have a bend in your knees here, especially this first downward dog of the day. It can be really intense. I remember my very first downward dog ever. I thought I was going to die. And I think the teacher probably held it for 30 seconds, but it felt like 5 years. All right. So start to firm your forearms in towards each other. Feel the upper arms engage. So the muscle is firming to the bone. Feel this work in your legs as well. Hold on to all of these sensations. As you inhale, you're going to shift forward into your plank pose. Good. So nice and long here. Gaze forward. You can be on your knees here. Reaching back through the heels. And let's go ahead and lower to our knees. You can keep toes curled under, or you can take the feet flat. As you exhale, elbows bend an inch, maybe 2, no more than half. Let's do a couple of those. Inhale, press up in one piece. Gaze is slightly forward, nice. Keep the elbows squeezing in. Exhale, lower. One more, inhale, press up. It's just feeling a little heat here. Nice work. As you exhale, lower. Good, and then land on your belly in one piece. Taps of the feet press. All right, so grab your strap. We're gonna just do a little shalabhasana with a strap to get into the shoulders. So unfurl whatever it is you're using. You can use a little hand towel here too. All right, so you're just gonna hold the strap and then you're gonna be able to pull out a little bit. Press down into your feet, press into all 10 toenails, resting on your forehead. As you inhale, root down into your hip bones, your pubic bone. Start to peel your chest forward and up. And again, just holding onto that strap, you can pull out a little bit. So you feel this widening across your shoulders. Ooh, it's intense. But you feel those shoulder blades squeezing in towards the midline at the same time. Nice work. When we're deep inhale, exhale, release. Take a breath or two here. Good, we're gonna do this again. So anchoring down, feel those inner thighs spiral up. You're gonna feel the glutes engage a little bit too, outer hips squeeze in towards each other. Inhale, all of that anchoring feeling helps you to extend forward and up. It doesn't have to be very big. So we're generating this movement from the muscles in our back. And those are really important to a strong core and they tend to get a little neglected. Play with lifting your feet up off the mat. If you do that and it introduces gripping into your lumbar, that is unpleasant, you place them back down. Try to lift the front of the body and the back of the body evenly. One's gonna feel easier. When we're deep, inhale, nice work. Exhale, release. You can just move your strap off to one side. We're gonna bring our fingertips underneath our shoulder heads. All right, so wing the elbows out, do like the funky chicken dance. And as you do that, notice how your shoulder heads start to dip down. We start to get a little concave in the chest. Now squeeze them in and notice how the shoulder heads lift. We get that openness across the heart and the chest. So just moving like that. Inhale, coming up to your low cobra. You're not pressing into your hands to find this. You're using your back muscles. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Nice work. Good. Exhale, lower. So it's just pretty easy. Inhale, extend up, Bhujangasana. One more. Exhale, lower. Inhaling up here. All right, so let's press to our tabletop. Curl our toes under. Downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then nice and easy, start to walk your feet forward to meet your hands. So they're about hips distance apart. Feel the weight pretty evenly distributed. So in this pose, we tend to rock back into the heels. So it's gonna feel like you're shifting forward a little bit. As you inhale, fingertips on the floor or hands on shins or thighs, maybe a deep bend in your knees. This is like a standing cobra pose. Chest extends, gaze comes forward. Exhale, fold in. Again, let the back of the neck release down. Couple like this. Inhale, lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Good. Press down into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. Maybe gaze up. Maybe press palms. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So finding your nice mountain pose, and we're going to just move a little bit here. So let's go ahead and inhale, stretch our arms up. Good. Interlace your fingers and then press the palms up towards the ceiling. You're going to feel the inner arm wrap. Good. So as we exhale, we're going to take a little side bend here. So extending off to the right, couple of breaths. Good. Inhale up. And then exhale, side bend to the left. And then just make a little mental note here of what index finger and thumb are on top. Good. Inhale up to center. As you exhale, release the interlacing, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, press into your feet, stretch arms out and up. Keep them lifting here and then interlace your fingers the opposite way. So the way that feels a little funny, press the palms up towards the ceiling. It might feel a little more challenging. Deep inhale. Exhale, side bend to the left. Wrap those left ribs up. Maybe look up underneath that top arm. Inhale, center. And then exhale, side bend to the right. Breath smooth and steady. As you inhale, come upright. Exhale, release hands, fold in. Let the back of your neck lengthen down. That might mean you need a bend in your knees. Inhale, chest extends. Exhale, fold. Pressing down into your feet, stretching arms out and up. Beautiful work. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So we're going to add on here. As you inhale, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. We're going to keep our right foot forward. We're going to step our left foot way back. We're going to land on that knee. Make sure that your feet are hips distance apart. All right, let's just take a couple of breaths here. So you can slide the left knee back as far as feels good in your body. So you should be feeling a pretty intense stretch on your hip flexor. This is one of those poses where it can be really nice to have some books or blocks underneath your hands, especially if you tend to be a little tighter. Oof, this is like a hurts so good stretch. All right, so we're gonna just bring our hands to that right thigh, direct your tailbone down, find this lengthening through the sides of your waist, press a little bit to the inner edge of that right foot. Inhale, arms reach up. Good, maybe bring your gaze up, press palms. As you exhale, hands return to the mat. All right, so we're gonna plant our palms, we're gonna curl our left toes under. All right, so you can come up onto your fingertips here. So we don't want to be laying our belly down on the floor. Fire up that back leg a lot. Stretch your arms forward. So you're just getting this long line of energy, just a breath or two here. This is really challenging. Deep inhale. Exhale, palms plant down. So step your right foot back to meet your left foot. Just come into your downward facing dog. We're going to inhale, shift forward into our plank, come to our knees. Exhale, lower to halfway, pause. Then onto your belly. Nice work. As you inhale, low cobra. Press to your tabletop, curl toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Be careful of furniture and pets behind you or small children. As you exhale, step your left foot through, land on your right knee. All right, so just a few breaths here. Feeling that stretch on the right hip flexor. It's intense. You can always pad up that back knee a little bit if you need to as well. Hands on blocks is really nice here. And then we upright ourselves. So hands come to that left thigh. And this is where this becomes a little bit of a balance pose. So maybe you need to walk your left foot off to the left a little bit. Direct your tailbone down. Feel this lift of the sternum, this lengthening through the sides of the waist. Hold on to all of those things as you come into your low crescent pose. So arms reach out and up, lovely. Maybe you bring your gaze up. That's also going to challenge the balance. As we exhale, hands are going to return down to the mat. All right, so curl your right toes under. Press back into that heel. And again, you're going to feel potentially a little hip stretch here. All right, stay low without laying down on your belly. Stretch your arms forward. You can have your gaze slightly forward. You're going to feel that in this outer left hip glute. Good, we're going to release our hands down. Exhale, step your right foot to meet your left foot at the top of the mat. I got you, Erin. As you inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhale, reach. Good. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, lengthen. Okay, so left foot stays forward. Step that right foot back, land on the knee. Just one breath this time. Inhale, rise up. Good. As you exhale, hands return to the mat. Curl right toes under. Let's do this little variation again one more time. So inhale, stretch arms forward so you're nice and low. Exhale, press palms down. Step to your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through, land on your left knee. Inhale, arms reach out and up, beautiful work. Good, as you exhale, hands come to the mat. Curl those left toes under, so stay nice and low. Stretch your arms forward. Keep your gaze slightly forward. Feel all of the muscles work. And then as we exhale, hands are gonna come to the mat. We're gonna step our left foot to meet our right foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Nice work. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Pressing down into your feet. Stretching your arms out and up. Good, as you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then make sure that your strap or whatever you were using is close by at the top of your mat. We're gonna get into the shoulders a little more here. All right, so here we go. As we inhale, arms reach up. Let's take our right fingertips to our left wrist. Exhale, side bend to the right. Good, inhale up to center. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Right foot stays forward, step your left foot way back. Land on that knee, and then you're gonna grab your block here. So you're gonna, your strap. You're gonna upright yourself here. All right, so we're gonna lift the strap up overhead. Pretty wide here. All right, and then think of this like as a little barbell. So actually pull out a lot, pull vigorously. Direct your tailbone down, feel your lower belly pull in and up. Nice deep inhale. As you exhale, cactus your arms. Release that strap behind you, any amount. And it's a big intense stretch, kind of the armpit area. Inhale, you're pressing up. Exhale, pull down. Nice. Inhale, press up. A little bit of a balance pose happening here too. As you exhale, pull down. Good. Inhale, pull out a lot, press up. All right, and then as we exhale this time, release the strap towards your knee. Inhale up. Keep arms straight this time, but start to stretch arms back. And this is gonna be really intense here. We're gonna just hold for a couple of breaths. So you're like going back maybe a quarter of the way, maybe not even that far. Keep outer hip squeezing in. Nice. Good. Inhale up to center. You can just release the strap here. Take your arms up overhead. Oh, the beautiful, beautiful freedom. All right, as we exhale, hands come to the mat. Curl your left toes under, step to your downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward. You could skip this. Maybe you just hold your dog, come to your knees, lower halfway, hover, and then onto your belly. Nice work, Erin. As you inhale, low cobra. Press to your tabletop, curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through, land on your right knee. Make sure you're not on a tightrope. Find your strap again. So pretty wide here. Feel the outer hip squeeze in. All right, so as you pull out, we do our cactus arms. Exhale, ooh, release down. It's a nice stretch across the shoulders. Inhale, press up. Exhale, nice and easy. Pulling down, good work. Inhale, press up. One more, exhale. Pull down. Inhale up, your gaze is just soft and gentle in front of you. As we exhale, we bring that strap to the left knee. And then pull out a lot on the strap as you inhale. Keep pulling, arms stay straight. Start to extend that strap back any amount. Definitely feel this armpit, inner arm. Are you breathing? Are you clenching your face, jaw? Soften, it's only yoga. Good, inhale up here. Just release the strap off to one side. Feel all of this space as you reach your arms up overhead. So nice. As you exhale, hands plant, curl right toes under and step your right foot to meet your left foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Good, exhale, fold in. Pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. As we exhale, hands come together at our heart. So we're just gonna do this left side. We're gonna do it with our full crescent pose this time. We're just gonna flow through. So we're gonna inhale, stretch up. Left fingertips come to your right wrist. Side bend to the left. Good, wrap those left ribs up. As you inhale, come back to center. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Left foot stays forward this time. So plant your palms, step your right foot back. Keep those toes curled under this time. Inhale, rise up into your crescent pose. You can have a little bend in the back knee if you need to. Maybe bring your gaze up, press palms together. As you exhale, hands plant, pull back, downward dog. Stay here. Or inhale, shift forward into your plank. Come to knees, lower, chaturanga, pause, and then onto your belly. Inhale into your low cobra. Feet really active here. Exhale, press to tabletop. Curl your toes under, downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through. All right, so strong legs carry you up. Full crescent pose. Very nice. Maybe gaze up, press palms. As you exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your left foot to meet your right foot. Inhale, chest lengthens. As you exhale, fold in. Pressing down into your feet, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Close your eyes here. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Ha. Good. So we're going to make our way onto our back. So we're going to do a little back bending. And then I want to do our supine strap stretch with our legs to just release the lower back a little more. But first things first, so keep your strap handy, lay on your back. So setting up for our bridge pose. So you're gonna land with your ankles underneath your knees, arms are by your side. So back of the neck is nice and long, gaze is straight up at the ceiling. And let's just move with the breath here a little bit. So as you're just here naturally, notice how there's this little curve in your lumbar. So you want that. So inhale, kind of accentuate that. But then as you exhale, start to curl your tailbone forward. You lose that curve, press into your feet, start to lift your hips up. Good, take an inhale here, stretch the arms up overhead. And then as we exhale, we lower everything down. Inhale, notice that natural curve in your lower back. Exhale, start to extend tailbone forward, press into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, everything lowers down. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, just nice and easy here. Exhale, direct tailbone forward, lose that curve, press into your feet, lift your hips up. Inhale, stretch arms up overhead. So this time as you exhale, just release your arms by your side. So you're still lifting your hips, Couple of options, either grab the outer edges of your mat, roll your shoulders underneath you, or you can interlace fingers underneath you, kind of like that shalabhasana that we did on our belly. Although we did that with a strap, but that same feeling applies. Feeling the stretch across your heart and chest, really root down into your shoulders, root evenly into your feet, and maybe notice if you're rolling to the outer edges of your feet. Or if the knees are splaying out, squeeze everything in. Nice work. One more deep inhale. And then release your hands as you exhale, slowly lower down. Good, take a breath or two here. And let's do one more of these. So this time you're gonna bend your elbows. So fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling, coming into robot arms. And before we even come up, really feel this upper arm pressing, anchoring down into the mat. And before you come up, you can actually slide those shoulder blades underneath a little bit. Keep pressing this much as you inhale. Press into feet, lift up. You might be able to snuggle those shoulders underneath you a little more. Breath smooth and steady. As you inhale and that upper chest fills up, kind of feels like that chest is expanding towards your chin. Glutes are definitely working here. You feel those outer hips firm in. You feel the inner thigh release down as your tailbone stretches forward. One more deep inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and release. So from here, walk your feet as wide as your mat. Take your arms out in a T shape and then go super, super slow. Knees start to fall off to the right. Observe the stretch that's happening. And then you just shift to the other side. So again, just kind of purposely going really slow here and noticing all of the little sensations that are happening in your body as you do this. Slowing down your breath here too as we shift gears. Okay, so the next time those knees are off to the right, just hang there for a moment. You might take your right ankle above your left knee. That just intensifies things a little bit. So if you go there and it's just not feeling right, you skip it. Always like making these little choices in our yoga practice. So yes, we want to challenge ourselves, but we also want to be smart and wise. We want to be doing this in, 30, 40 years. All right, if you cross that ankle, uncross, feet stay wide, knees come to center, and then they drop off to the left. Good, so you're gonna especially feel this in that lower right side. It's a nice little intense stretch. Stay here. If you want a little more, maybe take that left ankle just above your right knee. Kind of gazing out over your right fingertips here. So again, that gets into the neck a little bit. Couple more good breaths. Good, uncross. If you took that, come back to center, and then you're gonna heel toe your feet so they're at that bridge pose distance again, and then just have your strap on your right side. Keep your left knee pressing into the mat, hug your right knee in. Ooh, and then just make some little circles in that hip socket. They can be big circles too. Switch directions. Then you're gonna find your strap. You're gonna place it over the sole of that right foot. So, and you're gonna come down as far as you need to, one strap in each hand so that you can feel your shoulder blades heavy in the mat. You can keep a little bend in this knee too if you're really tight. You want to feel the heel stacking over the sit bone. All right, so just taking a few breaths like this, kind of feeling what it's like. This leg that's extended up, the right leg, it's really active. It's as though you're standing on it. It's in Tadasana. So depending upon your body, maybe this is a good place to stay with the left knee bent. If you'd like to extend that left leg to straight, play with that. It's going to introduce a little more sensation, but go there, see what happens. You want to keep that left leg really active too. So toes point up towards the ceiling. Inner thigh spirals down. Nice work. Breath smooth and steady. So we're going to take both straps into our right hand. And whether your leg is extended or not, just press your left hand on top of that thigh and then put your brain in the back of your body. So feel both those hip plates pressing evenly. We want to hold on to this. All right, so as you exhale, start to extend your right leg off to the right. And just go as far, you'll know. So some of us are a little more flexible. We can lay that leg down. That's not like the end goal of this pose. Maybe that happens in your body, maybe it doesn't, but it is important to keep both hip plates pressing evenly. And just go to that place where you're getting a nice stretch. And this can be really, really intense. So have you stopped breathing? Keep that breath moving. You want to feel your shoulder blades heavy here too. These look good. Let's inhale, bring that leg back up to center. Good. Take both straps into your left hand. And again, the left knee can be bent here. That's fine. Take your right arm out in a T shape or a cactus shape if you don't have space. So this time, hips don't need to, or hip plates don't need to keep pressing on the mat. We're going to start to extend that right leg off to the left. You want to keep your shoulder blades heavy, but that right hip plate might pop up and it might start to stack. And again, this is pretty intense. This is a great little stretch for sciatica, for lower back stuff. You might not need to go very far. You'll know. Just pause in those places where you're feeling the stretch. Breathe. You might start to roll into your right cheek here. So that gets into the neck a little bit. So this nice little twist. This whole little sequence that we're doing right now is really, really good for the spine, just really healthy for it. Really great for the lower back. We all get a lot of tension there, so this helps to work some of that out, particularly this pose. Good. Inhale, come back to center. So you're nice and even. Feel your hip plates pressing. So tiny movement. You're going to bring your right big toe towards your left shoulder head. So you're kind of going diagonal and back. It's not a twist. And then you're like, oh my God, this is insane. So tiny movement, packs a punch. Hurts so good. Keep breathing. Back off a little bit if you need to. Couple more breaths. Good. Inhale back to center. You can just release the strap from your foot. Give both knees a squeeze into your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side, and then just observe how you feel on that right side. So usually after this sequence, we feel a little bit longer. Nice. So just land in that bridge pose setup again. Keep your right foot pressing into the floor, bend your left knee and make some little circles in that hip. So just a few times each direction. Just observing how this side feels. And then go ahead and find your strap. You're going to place it over the sole of your foot. So this is nice too. It helps to articulate the foot. So you kind of want to be below the bridge, but above the arch, that place in between. So you're in the upper third of the foot. And then one strap in each hand. Come down as far on the strap as you need to so that you can feel both shoulder blades heavy. And then that's also going to allow you to extend the leg a little more potentially. You don't have to be pulling the leg in really close. You can just have the heel over the sit bone. But that leg is active. It's in Tadasana. And then maybe you stay here like this with the right knee bent. Maybe you start to press forward through that heel, bringing that leg into Tadasana on the floor. So pressing into the center of the heel, toes point up towards the ceiling. It's like you're stamping that foot into a wall in front of you. Breath smooth and steady. Take both straps into your left hand. Good. Place your right hand on your thigh, whether that leg is extended or not. Put your brain in the back side of your body. You want to continue pressing evenly there. As you exhale, start to extend left leg off to the left. This side might be entirely different. You might not need to go very far. And you're going to feel this in a lot of different places. So it can really be the whole leg if you're a little tighter, calf, hip, groin, hamstring. It might be a little more isolated to groin if you're a little more flexible. All of these sensations are okay. So what's happening in your body is fine. And it can be intense, so you always back out a little bit if you need to. You keep your breath moving. You use the breath to help you be in the intensity of the pose. Nice work. All right, inhale, bring that leg up to center. Take both straps into your right hand. Left arm out in a T shape or cactus shape if you don't have space. Good, and then as you exhale, start to take that left leg off to the right. So hips are gonna start to stack on top of each other, potentially. You might not go very far in this twist. That's also fine. And this side might feel a lot different in your body. Jessica's kitty is helping her. Send your exhale to that lower left waist, the back of the body. Maybe roll onto your left cheek here. Get into the neck. Really nice. As you inhale, come on up. Feel the back side of your body pressing evenly. That tiny movement, left big toe towards right shoulder head. You don't have to go very far. Just a little diagonal stretch, super, super intense. You're gonna feel this in the glute, the hamstring, the hip. It's one of those stretches that makes you feel alive on a Saturday morning. Good. So go ahead and release the strap from your foot. Give both knees a hug into your chest. And we're going to move towards Shavasana. If there's anything else you need, maybe a little happy baby, a little twist to each side, you're welcome to do that. And then you're eventually moving towards your Shavasana. So you might want to take that roll up that we had and just place it underneath your knees. Little support there is always really nice, especially if there's any tenderness in your lower back. You can also just keep your knees bent, take feet wide, and then allow knees to knock in towards each other. You can just do classic Shavasana as well if that feels good. Give yourself permission to be here the next minute or two. To be quiet, to not worry about all of the things that you have planned or need to get done. It's all going to be there. And just give yourself this opportunity to be still, to be quiet, to check in, to rest. And take a deeper inhale. And open your mouth, sigh the breath out, ha. And then just start to bring some gentle movement back to your body. Wiggle fingers, toes, circle wrists, ankles, stretch out. You're gonna stay soft and quiet. You're gonna roll to one side or the other. Just pause there a moment in the fetal position. And then you'll use your hands to help you press up to a comfortable seat. And just notice how this seat feels different from when it did at the beginning of class when we took this pose. Hopefully it feels like you're sitting a little taller with a greater sense of ease. Notice the quality of your breath and how your breath has shifted. Notice the quality of your headspace. So big shift there, hopefully. Feeling a little calmer, quieter, kind of tuned in, perhaps even a little sense of joy. Finally, send yourself lots of love and gratitude for showing up and making the effort. It's not always easy to do, but it does really make a difference in how we feel. So finally, just promise yourself that you're going to carry this feeling with you into the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend ahead. Bring your palms together at your heart. Bow your head with a smile.